Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
Yes, welcome to episode 145. Happy New Year, one and all. First new Power Hour of 2022. Brian, how you doing? Oh, wait, you have COVID.
Yeah, still on the recovery. I was telling Jim right before this. Turns out I had the cold or flu on top of COVID. So I got the nice double whammy, as you can probably tell from my voice. Still congested as all hell. Still can't taste anything, which is why tonight I am enjoying... I live on the edge, Jim. You know that.
As always.
So I'm having some Gatorade Female Sub-Zero. Do you get it?
Female? Oh.
Get it? Frost.
Oh.
See what I did there? So, I mean, the flavor doesn't... Jim, COVID can't take my sense of humor.
Most things can't, Brian.
So basically, it doesn't matter what I drink because I can't taste it, but goddamn do I really want to drink a beer and be able to taste it. I actually had a Mad Elf when I had my brother over, and it was useless having it. It made no difference.
Super spreader.
Well, he actually just got over his, so. The immune meets the sick.
Dueling variants.
Yep. What about you? What are you drinking tonight?
This is the first time in ages I haven't had like something on the ready or like a random box, so I'm clearing out some randos. So got my last Tsingtao. I'll hit the old mini fridge. For those who didn't catch the episode last time I had this, think of Rolling Rock, but from China. So there you go. But yeah, it's tasty little lager. And yeah, whatever the hell else I pull out of my mini fridge remains to be seen.
So, Jim, now it's the new year. I know we'll
New year, new me?
Damn it. Don't worry, we'll get back to our New Year's resolution list.
Right, new year, new bonus episodes?
Yeah, we're definitely currently in the works. As we've alluded to in the last episode, we had the little teaser with our good buddy...
Nick, Jesus.
No, I know. I was trying to think. Should I say Nerdy Nick? Should I say Nick? Like I couldn't decide which name I wanted to say.
What's his name?
So yeah, we're gonna be doing a bonus. Did we decide? Are we doing it Patreon exclusive or just?
Yeah, Patreon bonus? Exclusive. It'll be, I believe we said $5 tier. Make it a little more worth it for the $5 and up people. So yeah, once a month. That's the plan. We'll be doing a little bonus episode with our buddy Nerdy Nick. We've wanted to do something with him a little more consistently, so figured it'd be the perfect opportunity. And we'll be reviewing some different piece of media other than beer or video game related. So
yeah,
most likely movie or TV show or some kind of crap.
Exactly. We're gonna get Jim cultured and make him watch good TV and movies.
Sorry, baby, we gotta watch my show tonight. Gotta do it for the fiends.
So yeah, definitely excited about that.
First one will be dropping later in the month, so we'll let everyone know when. All that be posted everywhere. Blah blah blah.
But Jim, we we mentioned the fact that we do have our resolution, but have you been able to kick off the new year with any games? Anything new? Anything fun?
I had a busy week, and I've been a little bit of a sniffle bitch myself, so I've not been feeling all that up. Took a bunch of tests, so I'm negative, so whatever that means. But, so, cold, flu, whatever. But haven't played a ton. The most I've done is just a lot of grinding in Zelda. And because I am a dum-dum, so Zelda 2 is on my list, and I was having a bitch of a time with the second dungeon in Zelda 2. And I was like, how is this difficulty curve so goddamn bad?
It's ridiculous.
And I spent hours grinding to realize that there was a spell in the town beforehand that would have made life a lot easier.
Yeah, I was going to say, I said, if anything gets too hard in that game, you probably miss something.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, because I remember from the AVGN video, he's like, once you get to Death Mountain, then the shit really kicks up. I was so leveled up by that point, I just blew through Death Mountain.
That was nothing, yeah.
Yeah, so, now I'm working my way towards the third real dungeon. No, I did the third. I'm towards the fourth. That's what I'm doing now.
Any thoughts so far?
I think it's better than people give it credit for. I think the reason it gets the hate it gets is because it's very unfriendly in the early game. That's probably the biggest problem with it. It's not the prettiest NES game, and it's definitely it's bland looking, and it's definitely a real departure from what you think Zelda should be. but I think it's fine. I think it's pretty decent, actually.
Do you like it better than the original?
I might say yes. Because you want to know why?
Because you like to be a contrarian?
No. Because, well, besides that. But, partially. But even though the difficulty is bullshit, I'll take bullshit grindy difficulty that I can, like, God damn it, I didn't turn my heater off. I will take bullshit grindy difficulty that I can overcome just by, hard work over completely cryptic, fucking light every single bush on fire kind of bullcrap, or, figure out the pattern of the graveyard that with no hints and shit like that. So I just hate how cryptic the first Zelda is, even if it is a better adventure and it's a better adventure game overall, but.
Yeah, but I mean, we've talked about it. The cryptic shit in that game was strictly meant to sell shit. Like, it's not like cryptic, like, I look at Resident Evil as a cryptic puzzle game, and I was able to figure those puzzles out as a kid by myself. I didn't need a guide. Games original Legend of Zelda.
That was a Nintendo power seller.
Yeah, exactly. So I can actually see that. That makes sense. I think soundtrack's still better than the first one.
I don't know. They're kind of comparable. The second game soundtrack's really
It's not
good.
bad. Yeah, I'm not trying to say the second one's bad. I think the classic, like, same way I feel Super Mario Bros. The original. I think the soundtrack gets better through second and third, but I prefer that first one. That original sound. Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, that's really been about it. Hopefully, if I'm feeling better, I'll get back to the Plague Tale, and then start banging in on some of those other resolution games that we will get to.
Yeah, so we definitely will get to resolution games, but can I throw a little caveat on top of my resolution?
Nah.
And I want to see if you're willing to as well.
No.
Just hear me out. So last year, and Jim, you had your video released not long ago, and the link will be below for the games you beat last year. And you beat, what'd you say, 25?
24.
24? I want to challenge myself to see, can I beat 50 games this year?
Jesus.
But let me do one caveat. Now, beating a game meaning you actually, like, so it's got to be, like, obviously single player, not just you played it. Right. But if I happen to, for whatever reason, go back and replay Castlevania and beat it again, that counts in it. It doesn't have to be 50 brand new games. Okay. Just if I go back, because there's a lot of games I do tend to go back and, for whatever reason, play.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to see, can I do 50? Now, what do you think you could realistically, number-wise, knowing you did 24 last year?
Well, that was
and you weren't even trying.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying. It was just like randomly hitting shit up off the backlog and crap like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I include stuff that I just randomly go to just as like to relax and play.
Think you can do the 50? Do it.
I'll
do
give it a
50
shot.
club.
What the hell? Give it a shot.
So, with that being said, I'm already down 3 games, and we are recording on the 4th. Now, granted, one of the games
really did you well, didn't it? Shit.
No, well, one of the games that made us skier, which I started technically last year, but I just finished 2 days ago, horror game. I'll use a Jimism. It's fine. It's not bad, but it just borrows so much from so many other games. If you like first-person horror games that you don't really fight back and you just do a lot of sneaking around, it's for you. It's got a really cool soundtrack. Outside of that, I probably can't recommend it. And it is funny, that is the same company that was going to do that Gamer Girl game, which they later canceled.
Really?
Wales Interactive.
Did they officially cancel Gamer Girl?
That's what it looks like.
Bitches.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to rage.
Because they apparently did a few other games that were full FMVs, like the way the Gamer Girl was going to be. So I guess that must be a proprietary technology. They're doing a lot of games in that style. So
interesting.
I did that, and then the other 2, you'll understand why I beat 2 more games. Recording for future review, the Aliens arcade game, and then Alien 3, the gun game arcade game. So it was just 2 little arcade games. Each one took like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I blasted through both of those. So, yeah, that's basically been it as far as my gaming for the past week or so. Pretty subtle overall.
Yeah, not too bad. Taking advantage of a shit situation, so why not?
It's all we can do, Jim. It's all we can do.
Right, that's called live.
But we actually forgot to mention, Jim, we made a little appearance in one of our buddies' videos.
Oh, yeah, so funny enough, after our last episode when we did all the shout-outs for all the appearances that we made on different shows, the very next day, our buddy Tony Brasel the Gamer, dropped his best games on the Super NES video. And we had recorded that ages ago, and even he says, he's like, yeah, it took me a while to get this out. So, yeah, but it was fun. It was like the very next day. I was like, son of a bitch. So, link will be below. Definitely check that out. A lot of great people in that video.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. You get to see me with a good pick and Jim with a stupid pick. So, yeah.
2 great picks.
Nobody should pick a pinball game as the best Super NES game. That goes without saying, Jim.
Not saying it's the best, but it's one of my favorites. One people should check out. Get it while it's cheap. It's going up,
Jim,
up.
Jim, I'm just going to say the title of his video is the best of any Super NES.
Yeah, well, that wasn't that.
Well, thank you once again, bud. We appreciate you having us on that. So that was a fun little record. And by the way, Jim, I did watch that video of your interview with Metallica. Oh, Jim.
Oh, it's embarrassing. It is bad.
And I like, you're the guy with the nose out of the mask.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, Jim. Oh, Jim.
And I mean, that had to be 5, 6 o'clock at the latest. Like, that was early. And I was like, holy fuck.
Did you know you were going to see her and do the interview, or was it completely, truly on the spot?
It was on the spot.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was like, hey, come back later for an interview. Like, I saw them earlier because I knew them from, like, some other shows and, like, Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then they were going around doing interviews and like, hey, do an interview. I was like, all right.
Damn it. I know it's true, too. I can't even... Yeah. Damn you, Jim. God damn you.
Yep. Getting us blacklisted left and right.
All right, Jim. Well, we mentioned it enough, but we should jump into it. So our New Year's resolution game list. What do you got for yours on it so far?
All right, on my list. So for those who didn't listen to last week's episode, we're each picking 10 games that we never beat before that we are doing our resolution to beat in this year of 2022. Where the hell did
Jim,
I put my list?
Can you say that all again?
Yeah. Now, so basically we made a thing. Let's be New Year's resolution. Beat 10 games.
Yep.
Beat 10 games we never beat before. So, my games, as I already mentioned, Zelda 2. And I'm throwing in a Metroid with Metroid Dread. And we talked about it. I'll do fucking Uncharted 2. I'll give it a goddamn chance. It's apparently the best one. So, I'll give that the old college try. Even though the fates are against me, because my goddamn dog ate my goddamn PlayStation 3 controller. So, now I need to get another PlayStation 3 controller.
Damn it, Jim.
So, also Plague Tale. I'll finish that off. Legendary Axe 2. I've gotten to the last boss and never beat it, so I'm going to beat that this year.
You never beat that?
No.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I never got around to playing? Fucking Super Hot. So I'm finally going to play that this year.
Oh. Yeah, and I mean, now it's a trilogy, I think, so.
No. Well, I'm just doing the first one.
Damn it, Jim.
And here's another one that I never, like, fully played all the way through, and probably should have by now, Castlevania 4, so that's on the list.
That's it.
Also since I started playing it a little bit, I'll finish off Blasphemous. And another one of those ones that's like, oh, you never played it, this combination. I'll finally get around to doing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So, I've beaten Sonic 3 on its own before, but not the full with Knuckles add-on extra level bullshit. So, I'll get that full experience in me. And last up, Halo Wars 2. I loved Halo Wars 1, never got around to playing 2. So, I want to sit down and play that. I loved what they did I'm not expecting great things because I heard nothing about it. So It definitely came and went, but I still want to see what it's like.
Okay. No, that's a solid list. With that Halo Wars, will you play it on your laptop? Because you can just do it through your Game Pass, probably.
I should, but I have it for Xbox One, so I'll just do it on Xbox One. Like, they were made to be RTS games played on a console, so at least that's what the first Halo Wars was.
And it's funny because you told me how much you love that game. You let me borrow it, and I didn't like playing an RTS on the console. Like, I love RTSs, and then I tried, and I was like, yeah, it just didn't click with me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like a hardcore, like it's very simplified, but to make up for being on the console. But I
Yeah.
thought what they did with it as a conversion was a good job. So I'll see.
Nice. So I mentioned with mine, I'm gonna first off clear out a lot of my PS4 catalog. So I have the newest God of War. I want to beat that fully. Bloodborne. That's gonna be a tough one.
You've been working on that for ages.
Yeah, and I can't even decide, like, do I just restart it at this point and commit to it, or try to remember what the hell I was at and what I was doing? It's hard to decide. Horizon Zero Dawn, another game I started, I absolutely loved, but I want to finish. Days Gone, I never actually played or beat.
You never finished that? Mm-mm. Oh, I thought you...
I played the demo, and then I never actually got it new. And then I got it new, and it was just like, like a lot of my new games. It's like, shit, I just gotta beat other stuff.
Right.
This one I'm gonna need to borrow from you, and I only played as a kid, very, very, very limitedly. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh. Okay.
I need to see, is it actually the jizz fest that everyone thinks it is?
Well, Brian, why don't you just get Nintendo 64 online and play it in better graphics?
I absolutely will not.
Right.
The next one is a lump of games, but it's going to be basically every other Resident Evil I own that I haven't already beat. So I got that one, remember, not Dead Aim, but the PS1 first-person shooter.
Survivor?
Yeah. I'm obviously not buying them physical, but I want to play the Resident Evils on the Game Boy.
Oh yeah, gated.
Yeah.
Gated.
I'm never gonna pay that much.
Ridiculously expensive.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'll call them just the like leftover Resident Evil games I never beat. Mass Effect 2, because you keep telling me that's the best one, and it is available now on Xbox Pass. So why not? Witcher 3. Another game, it's
one
like...
I never touched. One I'm like, I'm never going to have the time for that.
I started Witcher 2. I enjoyed it, but like from everyone I talked to, they're like, yeah, the combat, everything you don't like about Witcher 2 gets better in Witcher 3. And I already broke my seal of like, usually I have to start at the beginning, but Witcher 1 is apparently like just PC and kind of really sucks compared to them. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just jump to Witcher 3 and beat that.
All I ever heard about Witcher 1 back in the day was because it had like the trading cards with the boobies on them. In game. That's like the thing everyone talked about. I never heard anything about the actual game itself. So.
Yeah. And BioShock 2.
I
love BioShock 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and like I was gonna put Infinite in here, but I'm not gonna put a stretch goal. And then finally, similar to Resident Evils, I want to go through and beat all the Halos that I never beat single player campaigns. And that even includes Infinite because it's available now. So I want to go through and, because I beat the original 3, and then other than playing some multiplayer, like I completely fell off. And I actually really enjoyed the campaigns. So I remember 3's was really, really, shit, is 3 or 2 the one with the flood?
All of them really had the flood. I mean, one introduced the flood.
Yeah, I can't remember which one of those campaigns I remember really blew me away, but yeah, I don't even know how many Halo games are there.
1, 2, 3, ODST, Reach, Wars, 4, 5, Infinite, Wars 2. I guess that's the canon. Like
so I'll
titles.
Probably not include Wars. I'll probably just do the FPS ones.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think they're another series. Like all of them are on Game Pass, so I'm like, why not do it while I can?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, what do you call it? I still need to play 5, actually. I hear that's the worst one, and I hated 4, but yeah.
And everyone's saying right now Infinite is really good, and it's like
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I wanna give it a go. Jim, you know one game that wasn't on your list, but you know you're gonna have to play is Aliens, Fire Squad, and Colonial Marines.
oh, I know. We're going to be getting to those reviews, so I could have made life easier and thrown them on there, but that's, homework. So.
And plus, you're going to need them to get to your level 50 club.
They will be part of the level 50 club. Once again, another reason I need to get another goddamn PS3 controller. Thank you, Miller.
Jim, that's our little hashtag for this year. Join the Level 50 Club. We'll get a shirt made up, and it'll have your face on it with the simple Jim.
I accept it.
That's the Level 50 Club. That's the reward. So, yeah. That, it'll be interesting.
Solid list all around, I'll say.
Yeah.
Jerk ourselves off a little.
So, all right, Chambers. Now, one thing we definitely have to be very thankful for is we have a new Patreon. And
yes, new patron, Derik Moore. Thank you so much for signing up.
Appreciate it, bud. I think he signed up just to see your video.
Hey, you know what? That goddamn video is worth a fucking $1 at least. So I encourage everyone to spend $1 to see me die on a hot chip.
So what else we got this week, though, from our awesome patrons?
Yes, patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question and we'll answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. First up, from Gamer Astral, biggest holiday travel pet peeve? Doing it.
Yeah, doing it sucks. You know what? Like, when you and whoever you're with aren't in sync when it's time to go.
Ooh.
Like, when you know it's like, all right, especially having kids, like, when the kids are really up and I'm up to here and I'm like, all right, it's time. We've been here long enough. And you mention it, and then if they're still dicking around talking, you're like, we've been here long enough. It's time to go. And they're either purposefully not paying attention to the signals that it's time to go, or I just make it really obvious and I'm at the door with my coat on. Like, come on, time to go. So, yeah, that's probably my biggest pet peeve. It's not a major one because it's not always an issue, but in some situations, and Jim can appreciate what I mean.
Oh, I know.
It's an issue, so.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest one. What about you, Chambers?
Just back in the day when I used to make like 4 trips in a day on like Thanksgiving and Christmas and shit like that. Like
You
driving
did too much
all
with that.
over the goddamn city. So I'm glad those days are done, basically. So, but yeah, like multiple stops in holiday traffic. That is my pet peeve.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Other than that, though, yeah, because everything else, like traffic, is cliche. That, is there anything else that's...
Because I don't really go far ever for any holidays, luckily, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
So I don't have, like, you know, the bullshit with the airports or, like, all those, you know, fucks in Virginia right now who are stuck on I-95.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And the general, you know what? Just the general planning sucks, too.
Oh, yeah.
Who's coming where,
here's
doing
the
what.
thing about the planning, because I'm sure it's the same with you. It's mostly handled by the wife's side. And they're the ones who are also stressing out the most. And you're like, well, maybe we shouldn't be going to so many places. And then you wouldn't be stressing out so much. But it's like, no. We got to do this, and then we got to do this. And it's like, you don't have to do all that.
Yeah. I mean, not that I'm happy at all that I got COVID, but that put a halt to all traveling. So I was like, it is what it is. I can't do anything. So.
Yep. My wife listens, so, hi, baby.
You're going to get a talking to, Jim.
She knows. She knows what she does.
Nah, but great question, though, dude.
Yep, definitely. Very relatable. Next up, from Michael Soto. If you had to choose one game system to play for the rest of your life, what system would you pick?
Yeah. I don't know if that was a sneeze or a cough.
Cough.
Okay.
Nice, healthy, phlegmy one.
I guess we'll have to eliminate the easiest one, which would be PC.
Well, yeah. Well, let's eliminate the PC, and let's eliminate, like, you know, all the backwards compatibility options. Let's keep it like.
Well, no. See, that's where I feel like that you got to be able to use that. Like if I have Xbox
if it comes
One,
with the system, basically.
If like, okay, I think of like with Xbox One, I can purchase if Sega releases a pack of games or re-releases it on Xbox One, and I can download it. Yeah, as long as you're not like putting an external thing into it, like if it's available on its marketplace or something,
yeah,
that counts.
All right,
but just not PC, because then PC's everything.
Right.
You can't not in my opinion, go with a modern console, I guess I'll just have to go Xbox One just because I know the availability of the games, and they're gonna just keep things will keep on being released for older consoles, like even if it's a collection pack. So yeah, I guess gotta go Xbox. Well, I'd say Xbox Series X
Right.
if I could get it, but yeah.
I guess I'll keep it a little. I'll try to keep myself to non-internet stuff. So if I'm gonna do like non-internet, I'll say
Let me
like
guess,
PlayStation
Genesis.
2, huh?
Oh really?
Yeah, just because you get PS2 and PS1, and then between them you get about like 15,000 games. So
Yeah.
you'll have enough selection to last you the rest of your life at that point.
Yeah, non-internet PS2 would have been mine, because that's
Yeah.
also my largest collection. But
But yeah, if I'm doing internet and I'm cheating like that, then yeah, give me fucking Game Pass on an Xbox, and then there you go.
yeah, yeah. It's an interesting question. Yeah, that would suck. But like you said, if you have PS2, then you get 15,000 games. You'll find something you like.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, good question though, bud.
Yeah, for sure. Next up from Burn Retinas. What are your favorite and least favorite black box NES games? Ooh, la 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 la.
Let me re-look up all the titles so I don't miss any.
Yeah. Same here.
All 30 games. All right. So mine's easy. My favorite is Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
My least favorite is probably... Huh. Well, let me ask you, Gyromite, is that the thing that required Rob the Robot?
Yeah, Gyromite and Stack Up.
Yeah, so probably one of those just because you would need a peripheral for it, but if I'm going games I actually played, then I'd put probably Golf.
I don't know if I hate Golf more or Urban Champion more. Or like,
We had fun with Urban Champion.
If you have a buddy, it's fun. Golf's just
Yeah.
kind of painful in general. You know what? I do not like goddamn Ice Climber at all. And they just throw it into every goddamn thing.
That's one thing I actually never played. I mean, I know of it, but never played it, so I can't really say yay or nay to it.
Yeah,
But Golf is rough.
Golf is very rough. But yeah, I mean, I guess my favorite will have to be Super Mario Brothers too. Like,
It's tough
if,
not
if
to
I
have
if I
that.
had to say like second, my second favorite would probably be like Kung Fu.
Kung Fu's great, yeah.
And then
Excitebike was always really fun.
I never spent enough time with it, so all I do is crash. So that's when I have to like sit down and like learn. All I do is crash in that shit.
I just
yeah.
like building the different tracks and fucking with your friends with the built tracks.
Yeah, true. Like Mock Rider's fun, pro wrestling's fun. So no, there's some decent stuff in there.
Nice. No, that's a great question, Burn.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, but I'm surprised he didn't jump on like 10-yard fight for Alisti.
You know what? As odd as it sounds, like there's a nostalgia for like that being like the first sport game we looked at,
Yeah.
and it's not good by any stretch.
No.
But I would take it over a Golf any day.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up from 5th Gen Mook. Speaking of Mook, his Patreon request video just dropped this past Monday for Alien Trilogy, so make sure to go check that out. If one franchise was being removed from the past existence, which would you rather keep? Mortal Kombat or Resident Evil?
Oh, I feel attacked.
Ooh,
This
Brian.
is like a
He went for your
direct-
jugular.
This is a knife in my gut.
This might be the best Patreon question we've ever had.
Son of a bitch. I mean, if you remove either one, I mean, you remove the best fighting game franchise, and yeah, don't even give the eye, Jim. I saw that stupid eye thing. It is. There's one good game in Street Fighter franchise. But then you remove Survival Horror, my favorite video game of all time. So fuck. I guess I have to say Resident Evil would be more devastating to lose because of my nostalgia for it. But then I would essentially probably not play any, because then you won't even get Injustice, which is arguably the second best fighting game in the current gen in the past decade, behind Mortal Kombat games. So yeah, then I guess I'm not really doing fighting games that much. So yeah, I guess I'd have to get rid of Mortal Kombat, but that breaks my heart so much.
Yeah, oof, that is tough though. That is a humdinger right there. I guess I'd probably keep Mortal Kombat though. I think just because I've spent more time throughout my life with Mortal Kombat, so there's definitely a little bit more nostalgia there. Like I basically grew up with it, and it's still quality franchise today. Only had a few bumps, so
Oh, I think
can't really go wrong either way.
I was gonna say I think Mortal Kombat has overall been a better franchise than Resident Evil in all the games that have been released.
Probably.
Like obviously, all the spin-offs of Resident Evil or Mortal Kombat were bad except for Shadow Monks, and 4 wasn't great. And I had fun with Deception and Armageddon, even though
Deception's pretty good. Armageddon's a little rough, but that's because they try to cram so much shit in there too.
yeah, but but then again, like the revival of Resident Evil with Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake, and then 7 and Village, they're like turning their shit around. So
if you want some variety, with your survival horror, you definitely get it with Resident Evil.
Yeah, for sure. But damn, man, that was cold. That was cold, Mook.
Mook, keep that up. Keep killing Brian.
No, give Jim a hard one.
No, you love me. I'm too cute. Don't do it. And last up from Tony Montana. If you could only pick one brew and one liquor that you would have for the rest of your life, well, everyone's trying to, cut our balls off from us.
What the hell?
What would you pick? New year, new us. Shit.
Yeah.
What would you pick that makes sense ABV-wise and financially responsibly? For me, I'd have to say Lagunitas Little Something Something for his beer, since the 7.5% hits that ABV. And for liquor, it would have to be Johnny Walker Green, since it's so goddamn smooth. Obviously, I prefer blue, but that shit gets expensive after a while. Yes, it does.
Yeah. If you're trying to be fiscally
responsibly,
yeah, you can't go with the most expensive shit. Beer, I could think of a craft beer or something like super, but honestly, I'm gonna go with something I could drink all the time, but then I'll also actually enjoy. So I'll go Guinness. Stouts are my favorite, and that is extremely drinkable. The obvious pub stout, and it honestly can be good in any weather. Now it's not ideal in spring or summer, so I'm not gonna love it, and I'll need it ice cold. But yeah, because I can't just go light beer. I can't be Jim and just have Keystone all the time.
That is my answer.
Of course it is. That basically is what you live on. If it wasn't for a site, that's all you'd live on.
Possibly. Get my essential sugars and carbs from it.
Liquor, it's probably going to be Buffalo Trace. It's the most affordable and tastes the best of the bourbons I drink. It's like the highest quality at that like $35 to $45 mark. I can't remember. It's somewhere in there. So yeah, and I just won't be drinking it that much.
There you go. And yeah, for the liquor, I'll probably do Tully. Like I do love me my Tully. And it's good straight, it's good with a mix, it's, not overly expensive, all that kind of deal. So, it's a solid Irish whiskey. I don't think, I couldn't do, Jameson straight. It's a little too...
I was going to say, I feel like you only drink Tully in shots.
Actually, this past friggin' New Year's, I gave myself a nice little treat for myself all night of straight whiskey. So I started finishing off that green spot that Michelle got us, and then I switched over to Tully after I killed that off.
Okay. Yeah, see, like I said, I've never seen you drink Tully straight. I just seen you only do shots.
Yeah, I threw some ice in there because, just a little bitch boy like I am.
Yeah.
Need to take the sting off.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be... So you'd really go Keystone? Just complete flavorless? Like, you won't even go with... What was your favorite Trogs that...
My favorite Trogs is probably Dreamweaver.
Yeah, I thought you'd say something like that.
I do love Dreamweaver, but then cost. The cost builds up then. Right.
You don't think you would just tamper? Right. Like you're not going to drink
for one
as
case
much
of
as you do.
Dreamweaver, I could have 3 cases of Keystone, and never be without.
Yeah, it's about quality, Jim.
Yeah, and then I can get more sicky hangovers. I don't get that with Keystone. Nice, smooth, enjoyable buzz all day long.
Because all you're
I drink
drinking
20
is
of them.
you're drinking skunk down water.
4% ABV, just a nice little buzz I can ride all the way through.
Ah, God damn it, Jim.
Think a man's responsible like that. It's not right. It's not just the piss bottom of a barrel of Coors Light.
I mean, it basically is.
I mean, it completely is, but
Yeah, what you guys really cut our balls this week.
yeah, they
Make us
went
make
hard
these
on us.
hard decisions.
But no, that wraps up the questions for this week. Thankfully, Jesus Christ. So, thank you everybody for the questions as always. And once again, if you're new to the show, for $2 a month, you can ask a question. $5 a month gets you a game review, and now bonus episodes. $10 a month lets you use our descriptions on YouTube as your billboard. Yada yada yada. So, and of course, for if you just want to do $1, the occasional exclusive video and a shout out every week.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you once again.
Yep, for sure. And also, with the usual spiel, if you're new to the page, please check us out on iTunes and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. If it's on iTunes, leave a comment down there. We'll read whatever ones you drop in there.
Thank you, guys. Make sure you check out all those links below for sure.
Yeah.
It would support us a ton. All right, Chambers. So our first GamersMad of the year. You threw up here from hd.squareenix.com. Obviously, it's Square Enix New Year's letter from their president, who I'm sure I'm going to butcher his name, but Yosuke Masuda. And why don't you give the people a little overview? Because I read it all, and it's interesting.
So yes, GamersMad, the recurring segment where we go through what pissed off gamers this past week and see whether we feel it's justified or not. And yes, so he wished everyone a happy new year, and he also basically said that they're going to be integrating NFT technology into their upcoming games.
They sure did.
Given
And more specifically, just blockchain gaming in general.
blockchain incorporation in general, basically blah blah blahing about how it's the wave of the future. Kind of sucked off Facebook and their metaverse a lot in this, which I was like, ugh, Christ. And yeah,
I still don't really understand what the metaverse shit is. Like, I not that I don't understand, as in I heard. I haven't looked up or read anything about it, and I don't even understand. Like, so even on a base level, I just know the name metaverse.
everything I've gotten from it is like it's like what Second Life was, but Facebook doing it now. It's
That's
weird.
actually from the pictures I've seen when they talk about it. I'm like, that looks like a video. It looks like Sims or Second Life, but through Facebook.
Yeah, but yeah, so as he's going around and talking about NFTs and blockchain games, saying stuff like games have traditionally involved a unidirectional flow whereby creators such as ourselves provide a game to consumers. By contrast, blockchain games, which have emerged in their infancy and are at this very moment entering a growth phase, no they're not, are built upon the premise of a token economy and therefore hold the potential to enable self-sustaining game growth. That was the line that I saw that I said, yeah, fuck yourself. It's not about self-sustaining game growth. It's about you milking the player base as you incrementally... It's like what a ton of people do already with, like, the fucking, season passes and shit like that. It's just the next thing of milking the customer, basically.
It's a further thing of microtransactions. But here's what's interesting. He says...
I see the play-to-earn concept that has people so excited as a prime example of this. No one likes play-to-earn. And play-to-earn always turns into pay-to-win.
Yes. Yeah.
Like...
They know... Okay, so play-to-earn... Like, you and I have talked many times. We hate it. All the DLCs, all the microtransactions, all this stupid shit. The fix was these free games play to earn, but when you realize, like, you literally have to dedicate so much time to unlock the shit that, yeah, okay, maybe I'm throwing $5-10 to get those skins that rightfully should be available in a game. I'll throw it at it because they know they're going to test people's patience, and the majority of gamers, and this is coming from us as 30-some-year-old gamers,
Yep.
are still kids who have no patience. And then he goes on to basically say, like, I realize that some people who play to have fun...
Oh my god, this paragraph is a treasure.
And who currently form the majority of players have voiced their reservations. And basically then he says, But his other motivation here is people who play to contribute. This,
No one
excuse me,
does that.
this is where it got interesting to me, and maybe I'm trying to read between the lines. The only thing I find interesting is the user-generated content he's talking about, and what I see there is, like, when people do make mods, I see it on Steam all the time. I don't know about other consoles,
Right.
but when people do make mods, those are what I would consider someone who is a user-generated content. They do it out of love for the game to make it more interesting. They're not trying to make a profit off of it. They're just trying to make a game like all the Total War games I play. They have like complete game rebuilds based on a fan thing they made, and they're making no money out of this. Now they're basically trying to incentivize these people to say, if you want to do that, you want to make a skin, now you can earn off of it. So they're taking what is a cool, like, fun, community-based thing of modding, trying to capitalize on it so they can see a bottom dollar to other people doing better work on their games than their own people and getting paid for it. That's where I went, okay, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and here's my, like, his line is, user-generated content has been brought into being solely because of an individual's desire for self-expression and not because of any explicit incentive existed to reward them for their creative efforts. I see this as one reason that there haven't been any major game-changing content that were user-generated as one would expect. Fuck you! There has been a fuckload of user-generated content for games, mods, bringing old games to life, user-created sequels, shit like that. And you know what the reason that it hasn't been more of it out there? Because game companies like Square Enix shut it down. Especially like Nintendo and people like that. It's not fucking the lack of people trying to do it.
Yeah,
it's people
and
getting
their
slapped
lack
down
of
every time
incentive.
they...
Yeah. Yeah, that's to me that complete bullshit line where I go, you know, I guess it would be kind of cool if people who did these things, if there was an option, like, maybe you could throw them a tip and they could make something, but, like, it's not expected. And the level and hours I've seen, and even on Xbox, like, when you can download the mods for Fallout and Skyrim,
Right.
those are all fan-created mods. And half the time, the very first mod fans create are bug fixes for the entire fucking game.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, now you're trying to force a monetization of that shit. Where it would be the same as, like, if YouTube's monetization is a joke anyway, but, like, imagine if you couldn't upload to YouTube unless you agreed to monetize, even if you didn't want to do it. Like, if I'm just on there trying to say, like, here's videos on how to fix things, and it's trying to be there helpful for people.
Oh, they kind of do that now.
Well, I mean, yeah, actually, yeah, they run ads on it, but I'm saying, like, it's just a weird, like, forced thing on top of it. And yeah, like you said, nobody plays to earn, enjoys it. It's just, that's another way to try to avoid having to pay more money for shit that should be free in the game. And now you're going to deal with these fucking NFTs and blockchains, which are just imaginary monopoly money, which is only good within your goddamn universe. So you're doubling down on just making people have to spend more money. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're just putting a fancy term on, like, like we talked about before, like fucking, you know, hats and Team Fortress and shit like that. It's that again, only it's just more. I don't know. It's like, I wonder how many hours they spent, like, combing, like, they either spent way too many hours combing through and trying to make the sound as good as possible, or he wrote it in 10 minutes and went, oh, people understand. From, like, from a tone deaf corporate, like, mindset. Like, wow.
Yeah,
and, like, people are already pissed off enough at Square because of, like, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, which they sold for, like, premium prices, and people aren't happy with them because, like, the text is unreadable and different things, blah, 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 and only coming out on certain things. So, yeah, Square's in a really weird place right now.
What is going to be interesting, what's really going to suck is, and I unfortunately believe that Nintendo will do this in the future with their licenses.
Everyone will. Everyone is going to implement it. The cat's out of the bag. Like, I fully believe that everyone who's like, oh, this is a fad that'll go away. It's not going away because it'll make rich people richer. And if there's any way for rich people to be made richer, it's going to be implemented into everything.
I don't know. I whether it's in the game or not, This is where I do look at it as strictly just like skins that I'll never buy anyway. As long as it's something that's not going to affect me, I don't care. If it's implemented in a way I can't play the game unless I interact with this shit, then I'll be pissed off. But yeah, it's
and here's the thing too. Like, it's going to be like anything else where people can bitch all they want online. People see a trailer for Final Fantasy 16, they're all going to jerk off and buy it. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, well that's the biggest problem.
Nothing ever changes.
Yeah, all the people, you can't on one hand bitch about NFTs and their damage they do and how fucking crazy energy hogs they are, and then turn around and be like, but I'm cool with this game company that wants to use it for this. Like, it's like, if you're really serious about being upset about it, don't buy shit from this company. Pirate it.
Well, yeah, there's always that too.
I'm just, hey. Tea party,
piracy is illegal. You can't tell people to go pirate. But if you stumble across something or someone sends something to you, the guys.
You do you, I'll do me.
So yeah, no, I mean, this is one of those times where I'm definitely like, oh yeah, everyone's got a reason to be pissed. This is completely tone deaf.
So stupid. And then this pretty much leads right into something sent to us from our buddy Max, which I didn't know about this at all. I didn't realize these were things. But
I didn't know either. I didn't like.
So he sent a tweet that comes to us from Chair G Tables, and it was basically talking about NFT fighting games. And the tweet says, I was looking into the NFT fighting game, and it got me curious on why the mechanics look janky. Then I discovered more NFT fighting games with the same mechanics and animations. Realized that they're all using a fighting game sample template for Unreal Engine. So in the picture, it's got, I don't know what NFTs these are, but it's a monkey with a Bulls jersey and a hat. It's a rhino in pants, and then I don't even know what the fuck the third one is.
Yeah, it's some just buff, like, kind of Bane-ish looking guy, but...
Yeah. And they're all in the same exact pose, which anyone who's ever knows about any type of game development, Unreal Engine is like the number one engine for game development, especially from Steam. So it doesn't shock me. What shocked me, and I told Jim this, was I decided, let me do a little search on NFT fighting games. There really are a shit ton of just the most worst looking games I've ever seen. So, yeah. I don't know. What's your take on this, Jim?
I mean, I just kind of think it's hilarious. Like, it's kind of like that whole phase we had a couple years ago of, like, all, like, just the absolute bullcrap games going up on Steam Greenlight. Like, the laziest kind of asset flips in the world. So, it's kind of just like that all over again, but they're just slapping NFTs onto the games now, which I don't know how I don't know how these work. I'll have to maybe do a little looking into it, but, like, do you have to buy an NFT and then, trade some Ethereum to have...
That's what I don't get.
To have your Bored Ape that you can use as your avatar in a fighting game, even though it's all the same fighting game? Or is the fighting game itself an NFT? I am confused.
So what's interesting is, when I was looking up the NFT fighting games, it led into other shit. And this led me to the thing of, I saw this one fighting game where basically you can buy or unlock all the skins and accessories for your fighter, or if you user generate it, then you can sell it in their shop. Which goes then, you'll have millions of just shitty knockoffs of the same style. It's like Cheetah 2, Cheetah 3, which everyone's just going to create. So I'm just like, why? But here's the question. So that monkey that's there, that's supposed to be the Bored Ape, right?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a million different Bored Apes now?
Oh yeah, Eminem has one as his avatar on Twitter. People got mad at him.
And is every single one supposed to be completely unique?
Yep.
Oh my god.
100% unique.
I just...
Right. You buy it for 1 Ethereum and then you sell it for 10 Ethereum. That's how it works, Brian. It just makes money. It doesn't stop making money. It's perfect.
But okay, if I just decide to draw it, why would I need to buy it? Because nobody owns it. Like, anyone owns a specific version of Bored Ape, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to make my own version of Bored Ape. What's to stop me from doing that?
You can, as long as you get it on the blockchain and give it a specific thingy.
That's the piece where it loses me. But yeah, to make
I
fighting
mean, yeah,
games
it's not the image itself. It's the fucking netcode behind the image that says, "Hey, this is this image, and
Gotcha.
only one of this." That's where the value comes from.
It's not value, Jim.
Oh, it's value, Brian. Look, Brian, if I shit out a fucking Lazy Lion Bored Ape hybrid and I get 10 Ethereum for it, I'm fucking selling that shit. I don't have standards. I have morals. I have bills. Shit.
God damn it. So yeah, thank you, Max, for sending this to us. But it's
Yeah, it's something I had no idea even existed or how it works even.
I bet there's a NFT version of every game at this point. It wouldn't shock me. Not saying they're good, just saying there's probably people who are like trying to cash in on that. So yeah,
I'm sure.
crazy.
When's there gonna be NFT porn?
I'm sure that's probably a thing, Jim.
Probably in the works if it isn't there already. I
Sure,
need my
all your-
non-fungible titties.
Jim, I want all of your hentai turn NFT so you can't watch it anymore.
Brian, shut the fuck up.
All right, Chambers. So, I don't know if you're excited for this news. I've been seeing this a lot being posted all over. But a leak, thanks to achievements for...
By True Achievements. Or,
Yeah, by True Achievements, basically are confirming that GoldenEye 007 is... A port of it, I'll call it, is going to be coming to Xbox. So, how many years ago was that, like, remakes that came out on? Like, what did it come out on? Wii or
360, I think. Like,
Was
yeah,
it 360?
It was originally on Wii. Yeah, I think you're right. It was
Yeah.
originally on Wii. It was like GoldenEye Legends or something, and then
Yeah.
it got ported to 360, something like that.
So now it's gonna. I don't know if I read a little bit about it, but
that was like a remake where this is just kind of like a remaster of like the original game. Apparently,
That's what
they're
I
gonna be
mean.
slapping on there.
So we've talked about it. We know, we both grew up. The GoldenEye era is fun with friends. Are you excited about that at all?
I mean,
Is
I've had
that
my
even
fill.
something? Like, would you get the same enjoyment playing it online with friends? Especially you who screen watches.
Ooh, taking away my advantage and my fun. I mean, it would be fun, and I mean, like, the biggest problem with it at this point with GoldenEye is the control scheme. So if you bring that up to snuff for current day, it could be fun. It's got timeless maps to it, and I do like the idea of just making achievements out of the old time-based missions that we had from the old game anyway. So, I mean, making achievements out of them is easy as hell. It's a smart idea. So,
Oh, for sure.
and those are all things you want to do anyway to unlock the in-game cheats, which are always so fun. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
smart,
if it's the right price point, I mean, I can eventually hit Game Pass anyway. So if it does that, then I'll download it. What the hell? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a cleaned up GoldenEye. Why the hell not? Still love it, but it's not something I'm like clamoring for. Like I had my fill of GoldenEye back in the day.
So then, Jim, it's safe to say that leads into our final topic. It was obviously an easier one for me to put up here. But, we like to think of things as overrated and underrated. And what better topic than GoldenEye itself, Jim? I mean, we can take even into account historical impact.
You have to.
But, I mean, you and I, we've gone back, and every once in a great while, breaking it out with some friends. Now, granted, it has to be kids that played it, because I will say, if you try to bring someone in who's never played it,
Oh, they're in for a bad time.
they're not going to enjoy it. So it has no replayability for a new generation. It will strictly be a nostalgia.
Well, they just got to get good. That's all.
They'll be like, why would you ever play such a shitty game?
I beat
When
Dark
they're-
Souls, but I can't beat Trevelyan.
Well, when they're like currently, and I'm pretty much talking more multiplayer. Single player is a lot of fun. I will say that.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Is it overrated or is it underrated?
I think it's underrated at this point. Like, there was a
Really?
long time where you could have said it was overrated, but now, like, the popular thing to do is just to say, oh, GoldenEye sucks and it's always sucked. It's like, no, it didn't always suck. GoldenEye was the gold standard for console-based first-person shooters for a long time, and it basically changed the game. It aged terribly, so you can easily say it aged terribly and stuff like that, but to say it's, overrated garbage is just, like, stupid. And it's like, it's mostly coming from either the N64 haters or the PC snobs who, like, basically anyone who likes to say GoldenEye is overrated is someone who didn't grow up with friends and weren't able to, like, have those good times playing with friggin' multiplayer. So, if you did, like, fuck, for as much of a shut-in as I was, I still had friends that I could play GoldenEye with. So, shit. So, like, yeah, I mean, and you still get a ton of content with it, so if you want to trudge through and get used to the control, then you have all the difficulty modes, all the gameplay modes, all the stuff to unlock, all the achievements, all the cheats. So, I mean, I just think it's still a solid game. It just hasn't aged well.
Yeah. I actually agree with you. I was hoping you were going to go overrated. Now, let me make one very, very clear caveat. If you are one of those assholes who still try to contend that's the greatest FPS ever, then I'm going to smack you in the face and say, yes, it's overrated piece of shit. But only because of people like you. Like, the people that still swear by it and say it holds up as the greatest, no, not even with historical context. Like, if you gotta go with, like, you just stop saying that is my one problem. And there's still...
No, like, if you were to throw in, like, old FPS games, like, I'll say I would put Doom and Halo 1 any day over friggin' GoldenEye at this point.
Yeah, and that has always been my problem is you and obviously you're the internet guy.
Right.
I think the backlash of people wanting to shit on it is for so long they're trying to the Nintendo nerds who hated the Halo and Call of Duty fan base that were FPSs would just try and hold tight and say, no, GoldenEye's the best ever. Yeah. And I think the backlash was people saying, if you're going to say that, then I'm just going to say, that sucks. But yeah, like you said, I had so much fun just doing the single-player campaign and finding every little secret you could.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, trying to speedrun it, finding little secrets, like trying, like just doing chopping, like just doing stupid challenges in there.
Slappers, Brian.
You know what I mean.
Oh, I know.
And basically, like, that was... I can't think of a FPS that I went back through the single campaign as much as that.
I would probably have to... as far as an FPS campaign goes, I definitely played that and replayed it more than any other one.
Yeah. And the multiplayer, like Jim said, it goes without saying, hours and hours of fun. But yeah, like unfortunately, every game on the N64, it just does not age well. And I'm not even showing it. I mean, I love still No Mercy.
No, I know. It's fair to say. Yeah.
And GoldenEye is, unfortunately, and that's why, like, when I saw that it's coming to Xbox, I'm not getting that excited because, like, I think we're learning with any of these games they're trying to report, like, the magic is gone. Like, you might have, like, one night where you might sit down with some of your friends, and even if you're playing online, oh, this is kind of cool. But, like, it's going to show its age really quickly, and you're going to be over it pretty fast.
Yeah, you know what? You know what a really good example of that is the Perfect Dark remake that they did, or remaster that they did like 10 years ago. And they did a really good job with it. Like, they cleaned up the graphics, and they gave you multiple control schemes. Like, one emulated the old way, one emulates, like, current gen stuff.
Yep.
Really well done. I played it for, like,
nobody cared.
Yeah. Like, it was fine. It was well done, but by then I was like, I don't care. I've done this.
Yeah. So I think if this does come out, though, you're going to see the return to form of people first praising the ever-loving shit out of it, talking about how it's the greatest thing ever. Prices for the original cart are going to go sky high because everyone's going to go back and get it. And then you're going to see the backlash of people saying, like, no, it's actually still shitty. Shut up. But,
I hope it's a good port. Like, I would love to play clean-up versions of those classic maps. Like, those map designs hold up for as rushed and as just, like, tacked on as they were. It's just stupid fun.
But no, for sure, I would say it's underrated, and it does deserve it does deserve love, and it can still be fun. The single player for sure can still be fun. The multiplayer, if you have the right crowd and the right mindset, yeah, that can be fun.
Yeah, it's funny. If you like asked this like 10 years ago, it would have been like, oh, it's overrated.
For sure.
But yeah, if you ask now, because like it's kind of almost like like if you look at all those like circa like 2013 like best of game all time lists, like when Ocarina used to be number one and now everyone kind of shits on Ocarina, it's kind of like the same way there too. So it's been weird how the old fifth gen's been beating around the bush these past decade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll be finding out for myself. Is Ocarina really worth it? I don't know. I'm still torn.
Man, when was the last time I played Ocarina? I think the last time I played that was like that was when I had family living with me, and like what do you call it? The one kid was playing it and he would get stuck and be like, how do I get past this? And I'd play it for a bit and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is still fun. But again, I played it a lot as a kid, so
yeah, that's gonna be interesting for me, because even though I can definitely shit on a game or whatever, and then I can give it a completely fair, reasonable score, unlike Jim. If Jim start like when you do play Uncharted, your opinion's already gonna be so minus in the negative that even if you do like it, you're only gonna give it like a 2.
No, I want to be pleasantly surprised. I just fucking hated that first one so much. I didn't even hate the whole thing. I loved the platforming. The combat was just so goddamn bad.
Well,
and it was like
I don't want to hear any motion sickness bullshit.
I didn't get motion sickness from the first one. Shouldn't happen with this one either.
Jim, if Goldeneye comes out though, I'm gonna still make you go to manual aim.
Ew.
Talk about aimbots and aim assist. Everyone makes that like a big deal in Call of Duty. I'm like, have you played Goldeneye?
Well, I mean, you had to compensate for some things there, Brian.
You mean like a bad controller?
The controller of its time.
I mean, PlayStation hat was out. That's a better controller.
I think
don't even act like
GoldenEye. I think the DualShock came after GoldenEye.
I thought even without the DualShock, don't you dare act like the PlayStation controller's not levels above N64.
No, N64 is better than the original PlayStation controller. But when the DualShock came out, the DualShock was better.
All the stupidness comes out.
Analog control, Brian. Analog control.
It's just damn it, Jim. So yeah, we want to hear. Are you guys excited for GoldenEye? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's underrated? Have you ever played it? I'm sure most of you have, but we really want to hear.
That'd be weird to hear. This is gonna be someone's first time that like isn't a kid.
I think there's gonna be lots of people that surprising. You know what I was surprised about when this GTA collection, like the updated collection, came out. The amount of streamers that like even we follow who had never played them, and it's like their first time playing like San Andreas and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I'll just say. They're also younger, and the cultural shock of dialogue and stuff that I found that quite amusing.
Welcome to Oz, bitch.
Yeah. So with that, wait, Chambers, I forgot to ask you actually. What was that new beer you were drinking?
Actually, the old Two Roads Holiday Ale. So had one of these guys left over.
Is that from last year?
Yes, it is. So this is like a 1.5 year old beer at this point. Actually has a printed date of October 15th of 2020.
Whew. I don't think those are supposed to be aged, so how did it taste?
Tasted fine. Tasted like a nice little, spiced ale, that kind of deal. So it was still fine. I'll see how it rumbles in my tummy. I was going to have a Mad Elf, but for some fucking reason, anytime I drink Mad Elf, I sleep like shit. Like, I don't know if it's whatever the combination is in there, if it's like all sugared from all the cherries and crap like that, but I can never like have a good night of sleep after drinking that, which is weird considering it's so boozy. But
yeah, that's. I mean, hey, alcohol affects everyone a little differently. Yeah, Gatorade Frost. It's the blue stuff. It's good.
Can't go wrong there. Yeah.
But no, we truly, truly appreciate all you sticking with us, and it is the beginning of the year. So if you are supporting us, We really appreciate it. If you want a chance to support us, as Jim said, we have all the different tiers with a lot more going to be offered at the tiers. So we truly appreciate you guys. The links are below. And if you're just watching us on YouTube, please be sure, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment on our videos. We love talking back with you guys. Either Jim or myself will always get back to you.
Yep.
And the same goes for iTunes and Spotify. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, it would mean a world to us. Help us grow on those platforms. And if you leave us a 5-star rating, we will mention it on the podcast and we'll talk about it. So be sure, get those comments into us, guys. And with that, we want to say have a good night, everyone, and cheers.
Cheers, everybody.